Welcome to action now from the Mobil 1 V8 Supercars. Before they get onto the grid, let's catch up with a couple of the drivers in their pre-race interviews. Mobil 1 V8 Supercars in the house right now for the pre-race press conference. Ben Morgan, you're looking forward to another good weekend at Zwartkops. It's always a good track for you, sir.
Yes, I am. Last time I was in this particular car that I'm hoping to race tomorrow was August of 2019. So call me the rookie today.
I'm going to for sure, because that's a long time since that car's been on track.
Forget the oom Ben. Okay, oom rookie nie, hoor.
Okay, we'll call you Rookie. Speaking of rookies, it's not really a rookie, but a welcome return to V8 Supercars for Rochelle Duplessis in the car care clinic and Mangaza Mustang. Take us through what brought you back.
Yeah, no, nothing brought me back. It is my first time, Greg. I've never been on the main circuit in a racing car. But it's an honor racing these cars. Since I was a little kid, I wanted to do it, following the footsteps of my dad. And sitting next to two legends like these in those V8s, it's just a privilege for me to be in the car.
Yeah, when I say brought you back, and talking about you had a chance to go out in the car, but not in full anger just yet. But I'm sure you're looking forward to going to battle, and you have fought against some legends in other V8s, of course, in the Oval Track series as well.
Yeah, but there we only go left, Greg. There's right turns here, mate.
All right, well, let's take a man who knows how to do some right turns as well, Franco. Still a battle in the championship. You've got Mackie leading things out, but there's four of you that can potentially spoil his day over the next two rounds. You've got Zwartkops coming up, and of course the final round at the Kalamina now.
Yeah, Greg, you know, it's been a tough year for me and Mackie. I mean, I was leading, then he was leading, then I was leading, now he's leading again. So it's been an on and off thing between the two of us. And I think this weekend is going to make or break between Mackie and myself. I mean, if Mackie wins both heats, he's won the championship. If he doesn't, then it'll go to Kailami for the finals, you know.
Let's go to race action now. It's Franco Mateo who's on pole position alongside his stablemate, of course, Thomas Reeb, looking to push that Mobil 1 Chevy to the front end of the field. But the Deltec batteries, Jaguar, will set the pace as they come to the line. It's lights out, double yellows into turn 1 and 2. Everybody stays line astern before they go down into turn 1 and 2. Got to just settle into their positions. As we come out of turn 2, it's green flags, and we kick the race off properly, heading down towards, of course, the back straight for the first time. Great start coming out of these cars, and Carl Nell in the mix there as well, up in third place, just ahead of the roofshore car of Andre de Lange. Watch out for Mackie Adlam. Didn't quite get the qualifying he wanted, but the championship leader at this stage, down in sixth place, just behind Warren Lombard, as they get onto that back straight away for the first time. It is the Italian stallion who leads things out, and look at the intentions already being shown by Mackie Adlam, trying to find a way through there on Warren Lombard in the Pep Boys Automotive Ford Mustang. You can see just how hard Lombard is going to have to fight to keep out Mackie Adlam. Adlam is the leader in this championship. He's got some valuable championship points he does not want to lose. De Lange in the second of the Jaguars, trying to find a way past there on Carl Nell. Nell shuts the door. The roofshore car just fighting to find a way past on Carl Nell. And Nell with a problem. Pulls to the sideline and off the circuit. Carl Nell looking so good, and unfortunately maybe a bit of commentator's curse there. Drops into pit lane. Roofshore car into third now, ahead of Warren Lombard in 4. 5 is Adlam. Sixth place, that is, of course, the hard-charging Ben Morgenroot in that 2019 version of his V8 Supercar. A car that hasn't been on track for a long, long time, so great to see that machine out on track for Ben Morgenroot Auto. The Ford and Mazda leadership in Randfontein. Further back there, the 4-car superstar coming out of these guys as well. Steve Herbst in the mix there too. Watch out for the chairman of the board, Terry Wolford, going to try and find a way through there on Ben Morgenroot. And then, of course, the hard-charging 4-car as they come through there. You see just how difficult it's going to be. Richard Fuller is all over the back of Terry Wolford. But Fuller and Wolford now going to try and find a way to get through there on Ben Morgenroot. Issues for the 7 car, by the looks of things. Steve Herbst with a new livery on that car as well, and some new spray work. Looks like he's going to drop by the wayside there with a bit of issues. But no issues at the front end so far for Thomas Reeb and Franco Mateo. And in fact, with them doing what they're doing right now, it is giving Adlam some headaches. Adlam is looking at the front going, hang on a second, my two closest rivals in the championship are 1 and 2 on the road. I'm sitting in 5th. That's not good enough. Franco Mateo setting the fastest lap of the race on that last pass of a 102.7. So 102.7 there for the Deltec batteries. Jaguar, Franco the Italian stallion, Di Matteo. He's ahead of Thomas Reeb. Reeb in the Mobil 1 Cafe 9 Automotive Chevy. That Lumina is looking to pounce on the Black Cat, and the second of the Jaguars sitting there just ahead of the Mustang. So 2 Cats and the Mustang fighting for 5th place on track. Then it's Morgenroot. Morgenroot flying very well at the moment and sitting in 6th place, but he's got big intentions being shown here by our man in the Fuchs Falcon. What a move there from Adlam. Adlam dives up the inside and finds a way through there on the high-tech Pep Boys automotive car of Warren Lombard. Sean's graphic and science car there as well, of course, there from Warren Lombard. He is now having to try and find a way back past ahead of Mackie Adlam as they go down in towards turn number 8, G&H Transport Corner. Double yellow flags at the top of the hill by the looks of things, so an issue somewhere. No, down in turn 2. That's down in turn 2. Someone's gone off in turn 2. Double yellows into turn 2. We'll try and pick up exactly what's gone wrong there. But as the leaders go through there, there'll be no overtaking. There it is. It's Ben Morgenroot. No, it's not. It's Rochelle. It's Rochelle Duplessis, our lady driver for the Car Care Clinic and Mangaza team by the looks of things. Yes, it is. Our only lady driver out on track, unfortunately, with a bit of a problem there in the Mustang. So Rochelle Duplessis pulls to the sideline in turn 2. Double wave yellows there for a while. Possibility of a safety car. We'll wait and see. Maybe in a precarious position, and the COC might have to make a call there to get that car out of harm's way. 2 Jaguars fighting hard as they go to the top of the hill. Andre De Lange was late on the brakes, but Mackie Adlam was even later. But De Lange's got the line, and he hangs on to that inside line. Safety car. Safety car board is out. They've all pulled in and slowed up ever so slightly. So they've all seen the safety car boards out on circuit and slowed up dramatically to ensure that De Matteo takes the role of a virtual safety car until they can slot in behind the actual safety car there, the Pretoria Toyota 86. Rochelle Duplessis there in the Car Care Clinic and a Mangaza car. That Mustang, of course, will be piloted by herself and Sarah van der Merwe at the final round to celebrate 75 years in motorsport. And, of course, incredible stuff there from Sarah van der Merwe to join that team at the final round of the Mobil 1 V8 Supercars at the Kyle Army 9 Hour. They've eventually caught onto the back of the Toyota 86. And now that all the cars are behind that Toyota 86 pace car, they can start working on extracting that car into a safe position. Big pity there for the Car Care Clinic team. I know that Mal Spur and Vota and all the team, Louis Scholz and everybody behind Car Care Clinic, were looking forward to seeing Rochelle at the front end. She had a good start to the race. Unfortunately, it looks like something's gone wrong there on that Mustang of hers. And she's out of, well, she's not in harm's way. She's just parked in a little bit of a precarious position. And I don't think they can get that car sorted out. Red flag has been called as well, so the red flag is now out. And I don't think it's because they probably can't get that car out of harm's way without having to. Something's gone wrong on that car. Maybe a possibility of the gearbox seizing. And they can't get the car off the circuit at all, so they're going to have to call for Big Max to come and extricate that car and get it off track. Big pity there, as I said there, for Car Care Clinic's team and for Rochelle Duplessis' first race in V8 Supercars. So they'll roll down and take their positions in the grid. We had 6 laps still to go. We were under yellow, we're now under red. And let's see if they bring them into pit lane or do they take them onto the grid. With the red flag, they'll take their positions on the grid again and basically stay the way they are. They won't take up their original grid positions because they've completed, if they come through the line now, this would have been completing lap 5 of 10. Front 2 wouldn't have changed because they stayed exactly the same as they started. They'll stop behind that safety car. They do a rolling start, remember, so that safety car will stay there to get them underway again. Ruth Schur and Mackie Adlam alongside each other, De Lange and Mackie Adlam. Behind them is Warren Lombard, Ben Morgenroot, David Kutsia and Terry Wolford. There is Big Max. And Andre behind the wheel of the support vehicle for Big Max, the trailer. You definitely need Big Max when you've got a big V8 supercar to go and collect. Great to see spectators back in South African motorsport, and I'm sure they're loving all the action they've had so far today. It's superb to see them back in action, and of course an opportunity for these guys to see the race action up close and personal. A lot of them are sitting on the sidelines with their smart devices in hand and also checking out our live stream action at the same time. But as always, South African motorsport is not the same unless you've got those big spectators down the back straight on the walls, in the grandstands and all around the circuit. we've still got some race action coming away before we complete the first heats of the day. We've still got one more heat of the BMW Car Club Racing Series that has to get their first race done and dusted before we do the turnaround into Heat 2. G&H Transport Gallery is always a great spot to watch some motorsport from here in South Africa, especially here at Zwartkops. And right below it, you get all the ceremonies after races in the Park Vermeer area and some of our interviews as well. Something's gone wrong in that car that's making it very difficult to extricate from the circuit. Maybe a gearbox issue or something, but not an easy job here for our combined forces of Kyalami and Zwartkops Marshals. The original Kyalami Marshals, of course, were based at Kyalami, but now based here at the Zwartkops racetrack and doing dual duties not only here at Zwartkops and at Kyalami, but also at Red Star Raceway and most of the Gauteng and Northern Regions circuits. It was Deltic Batteries Franco Di Matteo that led things out ahead of Thomas Reeve. Those two, of course, trying to close the gap down on Mackie Adlam in the overall championship. Certainly not an easy job when Adam's got such a big control. He is a 4-time back-to-back winner in this class, looking for his 5th title that will definitely set a new record and break his original record that he did last year in making it 4 out of 4. Big crowds in the top gallery here as well. Great to see that. And also a massive thanks to our team from Link Online for helping us out with IT support here to get the live stream all around the world. And I mean it, all around the world. We've had some people joining us from down under and in New Zealand as well. A couple of guys from the Middle East, and now, of course, as Europe wakes up and we head into the States, we'll get some friends from all around the world joining us as well, as always. Fantastic to have our Mozambican contingent here as well with Picanto Cup. They'll be out shortly for their second heat of the day too. If you missed the first one, you certainly missed an opportunity of some phenomenal race action. Very similar to what we used to get in the original Group N days of motorsport here in South Africa. They are really battling to get that Car Care Clinic Mustang onto Big Max. Bump it up so they don't damage any of that front end spoiler. Even get some of the camera guys. Looks like that diff is locked up completely. Yeah, that's why it's so much of a more difficult task to do. Rolf Duplessis there as well to try and help out. He's the man who preps that car. Don't know why we have to worry too much. Just ask Rolf to pick the car up. It'll be so much easier. Those back wheels are definitely locked up completely, so something has not gone right on the car. Hopefully they can get it sorted out for race number 2. There is enough time. Should be able to get that car back on track. And Rochelle behind the wheel again. Also just in the background you can see that Car Care Clinic gazebo. And Car Care Clinic, of course, sponsors all the gazebos for our Marshall points right around the track here at Zwartkops. So another big thank you there to Louis Skolt and his team. So we've almost got that Mustang onto Big Max. And once we've got that car clear, we can get racing underway again. Haven't had any confirmation from race control as to how long the race would be, but I would say it's probably going to be another 5 laps. So hopefully Rochelle gets that car all sorted out for race 2. She'll be handing that car, of course, to Sorrel van der Merwe at the Kyalami 9 hour. He'll be piloting that car in the Mobil 1 V8 Supercars. He'll make a welcome return to Mobil 1 V8 Supercars, having been a former champion in the former classes as they were known. He, I think, took a victory in the modified saloon cars when Westbank was still the sponsor. He, of course, took a championship in a Ford Sapphire, in a Ford Mustang, and in the Audi as well, the Audi Turbo. And then, of course, he also went on to pilot a Opel Astra at one point in his career too. Great stuff to see Sorrel making a welcome return to this class in that car, the Car Care Clinic Mustang and Mangaza supported car at the Kyalami 9 hour. So Big Mac's going to be taking that car out of harm's way, and as soon as we have got them clear through turn 4, they'll make a shortcut across turn 4 to turn 8, and hopefully we'll get a green flag and back to race action. As I said, I'm not quite sure. We haven't got confirmation on how many laps we're going to have, but I would assume that we've completed 5, possibly another 5 to go here for race 1 of the Mobil 1 V8 Supercars. So expect to see the shortcut being taken here to cut across to turn 8. Andre and Big Mac's going to get that car back down to the V8 Supercar paddock, and hopefully there's enough time to get it sorted for race number 2. You can hear the V8s firing up in the background. The lone Car Care Clinic Mustang makes its way off the circuit, firing up, and behind the Toyota 86 from Pretoria Toyota, the official pace car and safety car here from Zwartkops Raceway. It will once again be up to Franklin and Mateo to dictate the pace on the restart. Alongside him will be Thomas Reed, behind him will be the other 2 Jaguars of Andre De Lange and Mackie Adlam, followed very closely by the Mustang of Warren Lombard. Ben Morgenroot behind them. Morgenroot, Ford and Mazda Mustang fighting hard with David Kutsia in the Mobil 1 Mustang, and the Fuchs Falcon of Terry Wolford. If you are here and are watching us on our live stream and you want to head down to the Bridgestone shed at the bottom end of the pit lane, that's where the Mobil 1 V8 Supercars are pitted. Go and have a look at the back of Ben Morgenroot's car. The exhaust pipe out the back of that thing is probably the same size as a 25-litre fuel drum. And you can actually possibly even see the pistons through it. It's that big. Huge big exhaust pipe out of the Morgenroot Ford and Mazda 1. And I think its nickname is something like Flamgat, because of the massive flame that comes out of its back end. Looking forward to that one as it goes back into battle. A couple of cars that have gone by the wayside there, unfortunately. We lost a couple right at the start. Carl Nell, bit of issues as well for Johnny Ecote, didn't quite get onto the track. But here we go, back under starters orders. They'll take up their position side by side. It'll still be double yellows into turn 1 as well for the restart, and it's going to be Italian Stallion dropping the hammer, getting away, and they head down towards turn 1. No, double yellows have been pulled away. It's Linus Stern into turn 1. And we've got to maintain their position through turn 1 until they get to turn 2. Then the race resumes. Terry Wolford already applying pressure onto Morgenroot as they head towards turn 2. Big pressure coming out of Mobil 1 Cafe 9 Automotive. Chevy Lumina of Thomas Reeb onto the leader. And De Lange tries to fend off the big intentions being shown there by Mackie Adlam right from the word go. Adlam has got Lombard on his tail. Lombard looking for opportunity. Here's an opportunity right from the word go from Reeb. Oh, he had a big look there. But Dimitar shut the door. 3 Jaguars fighting with the Chevy Lumina and the Mustang as they head to the top of the hill. But it's the Black Cat that is controlling things at the moment. Adlam Auto around the outside, looking for a chance now to spoil the day there for DeLange, and he gets past. What a move there from Adlam. Around the outside of the Roofshaw car, and no answer from Andre DeLange, but he's got the pressure coming from Warren Lombard now. As Lombard goes at it in the Pep Boys Automotive Mustang, has a big look on a little touch there as well between Lombard and DeLange. DeLange out of shape coming out of turn 8. Lombard might have to get Sean's graphic and science to put a little bit of extra orange on the front end there as he scraped that car going onto the back end of that Roofshaw machine of Andre DeLange. He, of course, is helped out by Creative Inc. So a battle of the signage boys out there as well as different manufacturers. Similar engines in the 2 Fords, but one's a Jag, one's a Mustang as they come onto the back. Yet again, Morgan trying to close them down. He's got Wilford behind him. Falcon starting to close down on the back end of Flamgat there as he gets up onto the brakes. Yellow flags into turn 5. What's gone wrong at the top end of the field here? Possibilities of a slower car. It could be in the way. Has somebody gone off maybe? The only car I can think that might have gone off there is David Kutsia, because he's the only one at the back of this pack who's not involved in what we're watching right now. 3 Jaguars heading down towards the final corner. 2 of them fighting for first and second. Here's a move for 4th base from Lombard. Lombard slots in, and oh, there's the return to the favour. DeLange gives him a little bit of his own medicine coming out of turn 5. It is David Kutsia who pulls to the sideline and off the circuit, walking away from his car. There's going to be yellow flags up there all the time because that's at the top of the hill. Looks like the Mobil 1 car there of Kutsia had some problems into turn 5, maybe ran wide and out of harm's way. Let's have a look and see as the pack head towards turn 5 now. Are there still yellow flags? Dimitar still controlling things from the front end. Italian Stallion hanging on ahead of Thomas Reeb and the championship leader, Mackie Adlam. 3 rivals in this championship are going at it. Still a stationary yellow flag up towards turn 5, so no overtaking into turn 5. It's one opportunity, and it's seriously one of the best opportunities that Mackie Adlam has. And he's going to hope that that yellow flag eventually gets taken away and he can have a go at Thomas Reeb. Or he's going to have to try and find another way around. Reeb at this stage, looking under threat from Adlam as they go down into turn 8. Adlam just not able to find a way past on that Cafe 9 Automotive and Mobil 1 Chevy Lumina. Lombard not able to bridge the gap. Morganroot has closed down onto the back end of the 3rd Jaguar of Andre DeLange. The Roofshaw car now under threat from Ben Morganroot. Terry Wolfer just behind them in the Fuchs Falcon. Flying through. The Fuchs Falcon of Terry Wolfer not able to run with the same kind of pace as Ben Morganroot. Got about 2 car lengths to make up. Lombard trying to make up the 4 or 5 car lengths there in the Mustang. Head up towards the top of the hill again. Are we still under yellow at the top of the hill? Yes, we are. Looks like we might stay that way all the way until the checkered flag comes out. So Adlam is going to have to find another place to overtake. Cafe 9 Automotive Mobil 1 Chevy Lumina in 2nd place. Thomas Reeb at the wheel, fending off Mackie Adlam, 4-time champion and championship leader. Lombard, DeLange, Morganroot and Wolford. Another lap down, 2 to go. Penultimate lap has been started here for the Mobil 1 V8 Supercars. There's going to be a few cars in the pit lane working frantically to get their machines ready for race 2. Slightly longer version of the race. It's normally a 12-lapper in race 2 and an inverted grid. And if we look at the way things are at the moment, the inverted grid would see Terry Wolford and Ben Morganroot on the front row. DeLange and Lombard would be on the 2nd row, and these 3 would be 3rd and 4th row at this stage. It's going to be interesting to see how that all lines up for race 2 later on in the day, but right now it is the Italian Stallion commanding things from the front ahead of his 2 rivals in this championship. One is the championship leader with the number 1 on his car. 4 times that number 1 has been on that car, and it's over the last 4 years. Back-to-back titles for Mackie Adlam. Adlam, I think, realizes maybe it's not time to have a fight here. 3rd place would be enough. Here's a big move there from Wolford on Morganroot. Opens up a big door down into turn 8, and there is the big Flamgat. You can see the flame out of the back end of that Mustang of Morganroot, and he loses out to the Falcon. So the Falcon there, squeezing out Ben Morganhood in turn 8 and makes it stick. Morganhood now drops to the back of the field. He will now be on provisional pole for race 2. Wolford will be alongside him though. He sits there in second last, 6th place on track. Dimitar heading to the top of the hill for the final time. Are we still under yellow there? No, we're not. The yellow flag has been retracted. So there was an opportunity there for Dimitar possibly to be caught and passed, and maybe even Mackie Adlam to have a go at Thomas Reed. But I think he realised the yellow flag may still be out. So he's backed out of this one. He's going to take 3rd place, get some points in the bag. He's not going to have an answer to Thomas Reed. Reed and Dimitar would have closed him down slightly. But I think Mackie Adlam realises that he's got a commanding lead, and it's a controllable lead. I wouldn't say a commanding one. It's a controllable lead that he's got in this championship. So 3rd place would be enough to maintain control of 2021's Mobil 1 V8 Supercars Championship. Across the line, it's the Italian stallion, Franco Dimitar, who takes the win over Thomas Reeb and Mackie Adlam in 3rd. Warren Lombard with the fastest lap on that last lap of his own. 103.1 there from Warren Lombard. Incredible stuff to beat out Andre De Lange, Terry Wolford, and Ben Morganhood. Ben Morganhood will be on pole for race 2 later on in the day. Let's have a quick squiz at how things are going to end up here for the next part of today's proceedings. Of course, BMW Car Club Racing Series are going to come out for their first heat of racing. They're up next. And then we probably have a small break in proceedings there for a lunch break. And then we go into the second races of the day. Starting with Picanto Cup, Sunbet ZX10R Masters Cup, the Volkswagen Polo Cup, second heat of InvestChem Formula 1600s, Global Touring Cars, Mobil 1 V8 Supercars second heat, and that's the inverted grid, BMW Race Series, and Picanto Cup's endurance race, the hour endurance at the end of the day. Those times on the sideline, if you did take a screenshot, of course, are all based as to what's happening on track. And we don't have exact times of when they'll be starting, but those are kind of where you can bet your bottom dollar that they'll be out on the circuit here at Zwartkops for the Extreme Festival. Coming down into pit lane now, our Mobil 1 V8 Supercar combatants. They'll be making their way down to, of course, their pit, which is down at the Bridgestone shed, the bottom end. And as they head into the pit lane, we'll be looking forward to a big battle. So Claudio's down in the Park for May area, catching up with our race winner, Franco Dimitar.
It went very well for me. I mean, the car was on pace. The car is so good. I mean, I actually haven't even created a sweat in the car, you know what? And it's just a pity about the pace car coming out under red, guys stopping there. But I mean, that's part of racing. But well done to the Dimitar team. I mean, myself and Thomas first and second, and that's what counts, you know?
Awesome job. Well done, Franco.
Thank you very much, buddy. Thank you.
Welcome back to action here from the Mobil 1 V8 Supercars second heat of the day. 2 additional laps. Terry Wolford and Ben Morganhood on the front row, ahead of Andre De Lange, Mackie Adlam. Cafe 9 Automotive and Mobil Chevy Lumina of Thomas Reed will be side by side with Warren Lombard. Pep Boys Automotive, High Tech Mags, and Sean's Graphic and Signs on the side of that car. Franco Dimitar ahead of Richard Fuller, David Kutsia, and coming back at the back of the field there, Carl Nell was in 3rd place in race 1 and unfortunately had some problems, had to go back into the pit lane. Hopefully it'll go better for him in the second one. 10 laps about to go. Double yellows into turn 1, so no overtaking until we get into turn 2 and 3. And Wolford hangs on ahead of Morganhood. They'll just take up their positions as they stand on the track. Morganhood leading things out now over De Lange for 2nd and 3rd. But it's Wolford at the front, looking for a potential win here for the Volkswagen. Green flags out of turn 2 and we are racing proper. Richard Fuller trying to run there with Warren Lombard, who gets outgunned by the Italian stallion onto the back straight. Dimitar already moving up into position to close things down on his arch rivals. Carl Nell makes up 1 position into turn 4 as well. He slots up and gets ahead of David Kutsia in the Mobil 1 car, the Mobil 1 grid car. Late braking from De Lange, nearly running up the back end and through that exhaust pipe of Ben Morganhood as they come into the top of the hill for the first time through Kenwood. Double right-hander, flicking it left through one of the only left-hand turns on the circuit. Here comes Mackie Adlam already applying pressure onto DeLange. Oh, what a tag! Touch between DeLange and Adlam. Adlam definitely in the wrong there. Trying to throw a wheel up the inside. DeLange shut the door and he tagged him. Spun him out completely in that Roofshaw Jaguar. Adlam could be in a bit of trouble for that. As we see Thomas Reeve now trying to capitalize and possibly catch them out. DeLange definitely getting spun out there by the tap from behind, coming from Mackie Adlam. And Adlam now with a bit of pressure. Let's have a look at it as they go in there. Yeah. A little bit of late braking, and unfortunately Mackie Adlam in the wrong place at the wrong time as DeLange came to take his normal line. Tagged the back of the Roofshaw Jag, and that's it. He's on the sideline, back of the field. So some work to do now for Andre DeLange. Possibility for the COC to have a bit of a chat with Mackie Adlam as well, because that was maybe not deemed a racing incident. We'll wait and see what they have to say about that one. But right now it is Italian Stallion all over the back of Mackie Adlam, looking for a chance to get through on him. Adlam is the hard charger always in the reverse grid. Warren Lombard trying to do the same thing in the background. Carl Nels on his tail. He wants to get through on Richard Fuller. Nell to very close attendance with the other two Fords ahead of him. Didn't quite go according to plan in race 1 for Carl Nell, but he's definitely back in the thick of it now for race 2. Lombard through on Fuller. Lombard dives on the inside, finds a way through there on Richard Fuller and gets past. As they head now into turn number 4. It's Lombard from Fuller, Fuller from Nell, Nell from Kutsia. Falcon at the back of the field trying to close things down here on the Mustangs just up the road from him. Two Falcons fighting hard there as well. Three of them at the back trying to close down on Lombard's Mustang. Morganroot under a bit of pressure now from Terry Wolford. He's at the front and got ahead of Wolford. And since he's done that, he's now had an attack coming constantly from Terry Wolford. About to have Terry Wolford and Mackie Adlam right with him. And not forgetting Frank Matau and Thomas Reeve. Thomas Reeve with the fastest lap on that last pass. So that's how these guys have started things out here for the second heat of Mobil 1 V8 Supercars. Morgan trying to pull away now from Wolford as he fends off the two Jaguars. The two cats trying to catch that Falcon. And it's a determined Mackie Adlam wanting through on that Fuchs Falcon. He's looking to try and wrap things up here in this championship. Remember, it'll be his 5th back-to-back title in Mobil 1 V8 Supercars, or in Supercars, if he gets it all right. He dives on the inside of Terry Wolford. Wolford giving him a little bit of room to play, but not enough to make the move stick. Wolford hangs on to the inside line for turn 7 and should be able to keep out the attack from the Jaguar. He does so. He's on the inside line for turn 8, and that'll keep him at the front end of this little fight. But it's still in second place behind Morganroot, who's starting to open up a big margin. Here comes Thomas Reeve in the background as well. Reeve bringing along the Chevy Lumina for a bit of a fight amongst the cats and birds at the front end. Falcon from the Jaguars. Here comes the Lumina. Chevy powered Lumina there in 5th place. Looking for a chance to get through there on his stablemate. Cafe 9 Automotive and Mobil sponsored car of Thomas Reeve, closing down onto the tailpiece there of Mackie Adlam and Frank Matau. Wolford late on the brakes. Later braking coming out of Adlam though. He's going to try and hang on to that inside line. Adlam forcing Wolford once again onto that wide line. This time Wolford with a slightly better drive out of turn 5 and doesn't have to go as defensive into turn 6 as what he did earlier on. Great fight for second here. Here comes Adlam. Adlam, oh, defensive driving from Adlam. He saw the move there from Demateo, and he went with the exact same move to shut the door. Wasn't going to allow Demateo through. Down to turn 2. This time it's the Fuchs Falcon taking the right line through turn 2. Didn't have to go defensive, but he lights up those Goodyears as they come out of turn 2. And see how hard Terry Wolford is fighting that car to stay in second place. Morganroot not having to fight anybody, getting away from the pack. Are we going to see the rookie take a victory here? say that tongue-in-cheek because his interview earlier on, he was mentioning the fact that that car has not been on track since 2019. So it's a rookie amongst these seasoned campaigners in this category. 3 years ago that car was back on the surface. And now having to fight hard at the front end. He's got away from Wolford, from Adlam, and from Di Matteo. Reeb losing a little bit of ground now to Di Matteo. Lombard coming along for the ride. Not too far off the back end of that pace is Warren Lombard. Down towards turn 2 they go again. Di Matteo trying to find a way through there on Mackie Adlam. Adlam not giving any room whatsoever to the Italian stallion behind him. Reeb has yet again closed that gap. Maybe not enough to have a go, but he's made it about 2 car lengths now as opposed to the 5 car lengths earlier. Lombard not too far behind them, realizing that Terry Wolford is concertinaing this pack of cars up here in second. And keeping it very honest for second place. Oof. Sideways from Wolford as he came out of turn 5 there, lighting those big Goodyears up. Big black lines coming out of turn 5 into turn 6. Here comes Adlam. Can he make a move here on Wolford? No, he's not close enough. Sticks his nose in, but doesn't quite make it stick into turn 8. G&H corner, always see some great late braking maneuvers here at Zwartkops. Now as they come under braking for turn 2 again, Adlam still no answer to Wolford's pace. He's had a couple of looks here and there, but hasn't been able to make it stick to get through. But now could be finding himself under a bit more pressure from Franco Di Matteo. Di Matteo shows a big look on the inside into turn 4. Adlam shuts the door. Not going to have any of that. Wolford very late on the brakes. Up to turn 5. Past the AMG Driving Academy and into the little short straight between 5 and 6. Pitching it over into turn 5, into 6 now. Double right-hander, then it's a flick to the left. Down the hill and on the brakes into G&H Transport corner. No changes here. This is poised on a knife edge though, with 2 laps to go. Anybody's race here still for second. Don't think they're going to catch Ben Morganroot out front. It's going to be a long time since we've seen Ben Morganroot at the top of the field in the Mobil 1 V8 Supercars. Morganroot bringing that old car out. 2019, as I said, was the last time it was in battle, and it doesn't seem to have lost any pace whatsoever. And he maintains the lead over this pack of 4 fighting for second. Here we go, to the top of the hill. Adlam looking dangerous. He's not close enough to make it thick this time, but he's going to have to start thinking about a maneuver if he wants that second place. Or is he starting to think more of the championship? Is second good enough if he's ahead of his 2 championship rivals? Remember, Terry Wolford and Morganroot are not in the championship fight, but Di Matteo and Reeb are. And they're behind him at the moment, so that might be what his thinking is, heading into this last lap of the penultimate round of Mobil 1 V8 Supercars. Will he settle for third place? Is that enough to give him a commanding and controlling lead to head to Kyalami on the 3rd and 4th of December for the Kyalami 9 hour as one of the curtain raisers for that Intercontinental GT Championship? That's possibly what he's thinking about right now. He's not applying as much pressure to Terry Wolford as he was earlier on. And Wolford actually has pulled a small margin now over Mackie Adlam. What a drive here from Ben Morganroot. It's, I think, almost 50 years of racing that Morganroot has been involved in South African motorsport. He's a multiple champion in the V8 Supercars and what was previously known as the Modified Saloon Car Championship. And he's now about to take what was an unthinkable victory here this weekend in an old car. Big Ford Mustang. Vlamgat, as he likes to call it. Heads down towards turn number 8 for the last time. And the victory going to Ben Morganroot. He takes the win over the Fuchs Falcon of Terry Wolford. It's Mackie Adlam in the Adlam Auto car for 3rd. And Di Matteo and Reeb will be stretching their helmets. Warren Lombard hung on to keep out the attack coming from Richard Fuller. And across the line, it will be David Coetzee to win things out over Andre de Lange in the third of the Jaguars. So, Mobil 1 V8 Supercars, Ben Morganroot, Wolford and Adlam, your top three. Demeter and Reeve losing ground to Adlam in the championship, only finishing in 4 and 5. Warren Lombard in 6, Richard Fuller in 7th, David Coetzee in 8th, and Andre de Lange in the Roofshaw Jaguar finishes up in 9th place. That is our Mobil 1 V8 Supercar coverage done for the day. These guys will be looking forward to heading to Kyalami on the 3rd and 4th of December for their final round of their championship.